Hey there, video number 24. Today we're talking about different types of fidelity, and there are three main types: visual, functional, and content. And each of them goes from the low fidelity to high fidelity scale that I mentioned in the previous video. And as an example for visual low fidelity, the prototype would look more like sketches. Medium kind of in between fidelity would be more like wireframes, and the high fidelity would be mock-ups that quite often will be very close to what the end product would look like. Or if you're prototyping a feature from an existing product, quite often you would use the existing UI library or design system if you have one to create this prototype and test it. So in that case, it would be high fidelity from the visual perspective. Second is the functional, and that's how it's the level of interaction, how a user can interact with the prototype. The lower fidelity would be completely static. So that's when you would use annotations and kind of these blurbs to explain and communicate to others the intended functionality. Like clicking this button would launch a model view or something like that. And then the high fidelity would be completely functioning, allowing user input and more like higher level of interactions that are already built. So which is usually would be coded, like using coding prototype. Quite often, especially with new prototyping tools, you may be able to replicate, like simulate quite a lot of interactions using the tools themselves without the need to code. So almost every day and every week, these tools become better and new tools show up which have more support for different interaction types. So not necessarily coding, but quite often it will require coding, especially if there is user input that you want to test. And third is content, and the low fidelity of the content type of fidelity prototype will have lorem ipsum kind of text, which is a famous, maybe too famous, maybe too overused placeholder text that designers use to put instead of the real text. Especially this happens when they have to design something before the client or before the client provides them the real content, or before they can create the content themselves, if it's something for it's one of the products of their own production, so to say. And the more high level fidelity is the exact copy already written, and all the words and everything is what you intend to show in the end product. That's when you test the content and the copy itself. And maybe even like lower fidelity than lorem ipsum would be more like wireframey style of rectangular shapes and line shapes that you put in different width and thickness and colors and lengths to showcase where you want to put different text on your wireframe, as an example. And for example, thicker line and darker colors may be used for showing where the header would go, and thinner lines and lighter ones may be used for main content, like for paragraph text and so on. So there are three main different types: fidelities of the fidelities, functional, visual, and content. That's it for today. Cheers.